respected places. I just want to thank God for being good to me.
I know that's right.
Everything that I went through, everything I'm going through, I thank God for it.
I know that's right.
Because it made me a stronger person than I am today.
Yes.
And my supervisor came to me earlier today and asked me if I would continue to keep coming a little early. One, to train on another line to be another lead on another line, so I thank God for the opportunity.
All right.
And continue praying for me if I keep praying for you guys. Thank you.
Are you ready?
In a while. I talked to the pastor this afternoon, and I thought, no,
Come on up here.
what was going on. I think my church family and everything. But last month, I was on the phone talking to a friend of mine, and I got quiet. And I was trying to talk, and I knew what was going on, but nothing would come out. And my friend, she kept saying, "Is somebody in the house with you?" And I couldn't answer her and tell her not to say anything. And so she got up with the pajamas and started to my house, which was about 15 minutes had went on. And when she got next to Molly, I was able to speak to her. And it scared her as much as it scared me, because it wasn't a seizure, because I could tell her everything that was going on. And I went to the doctor, and he done a CT scan on my brain to see if I had a mini stroke or a seizure or whatever. And he told me today that I hadn't had a mini stroke, I hadn't had a seizure. Okay.
Come on, give God a praise. You know, when Sharon first came, Sharon's been here for how long now? About what, 7?
Yeah, I think we're about 52 years old.
That's fine. That praise God. And I think Pastor Ty wanted got you to come.
Yeah.
And he wasn't even associate pastor then. But he was getting a lot of them to come. And she was having seizures back to back. Is that right? Back to back. Back to back. And when she came, she too came through those doors with expectation for God to heal her. And God did heal Sharon that same day, 7 years ago. And she never had any more seizures since then. Come on, give God a hallelujah. Who said God ain't a healer? Can he do it?
Yes, he can.
No, he can't.
Just thank God for being first in my life. Giving honor to the apostles, to Pastor Ty, and to everybody else in their respectful places.
Yes.
Truly, I just thank and praise God just for being here on tonight. I could have been anywhere else, but I thank God for just being in the house of God on tonight. And you know what? I thank God just for being humble, but not only being humble, but remaining humble. Is that all right? And sometimes, what happens is we confuse humbleness with quietness.
Come on.
You can be quiet, don't mean you humble.
Come on.
There could be some things that's going on in you
Come on.
that ain't so humble, So it's humbleness is that I'm submitting, to the order which you has, rule over me, whether it be at my job with my boss, or it be here in church with my leader, or unto God. I humble myself, and I'm telling you, humbleness goes a long way. It does, because, as I said before, is that if you're not humble, you're not teachable.
Come on.
And also, if you're not humble, you can't receive anything. You know, you know everything, and you always on the uproar, on the out of things, and telling people, no, you know, this ain't you, this is not how you are. But you know, it pays to be humble. And I say this to say that is that, you know, I just thank God just for blessing me, you know, just blessing me and just, you know, watching over me and having his hands on me. And you know, I've been at my job roughly for a little over 3 weeks. And, you know, my boss, she's getting ready to, you know, take time off, or should I say a day off, because her daughter is, you know, they have something in Knoxville, I believe, and then she's doing for America's Got Talent or something like that. And, you know, she said, well, I need to take off, and she had let me know last week. And she was like, well, Dion, do you mind, you know, minding the office while I'm gone? And, you know, I just thank God, you know, just for, you know, putting me in a position to even be trustworthy. You know, because this lady only known me for 3 weeks, but here she is saying, look, I trust you with the office. I trust you to do what's right. I trust you to run it how I would run it, you know. And that's nobody but God. And I was humble, and I told her, you know, I really appreciate it. I make sure that the things are done the way that they're supposed to be done. And not only that, you know, she's hired some more people, and now she has those people up under me. So now I'm responsible for the training of these people. I'm responsible for showing these people how to do things and the financial work. I just thank God because, you know, God did a quick work, even in this, even though it took a while for the word to come to pass, as far as me getting the job. But God's timing is always on time. It's never contingent on our time. So even though I was waiting and waiting and waiting, I look at the waiting even paid off. Me staying humble paid off, because now that I am where, you know, I truly believe I'm supposed to be, that God had placed me at. Now look, he's doing a quick work. He said, listen, son, I'm not going to keep you where you are forever, but you're going to move. So I just thank God for that. So, you know, don't let nobody tell you, oh, you know, humble is not the way to go. Trust me. Stay humble. Stay humble. I don't care, you know, who's getting on your nerves at your job, you know, or, you know, in your family. Stay humble and let God complete the work in which he started in you. Is that all right? Amen. Y'all continue to pray my strength in the Lord.
I mean, I understand what he's saying. Because people do. They look at a quiet person and say, oh, he's so humble. And that person is quiet because he just know that if I say anything, it's going to be wrong. I want anger. So some people know how to carry themselves, you know, in such a quiet manner to deceive. And I didn't know that's what the devil comes to do. He comes to deceive and to what? Kill, steal, and to destroy. And so we want to make sure that we ourselves, we want to always, I can look at this class. We want to make sure that we always want truth. Not truth according to our own knowledge, but truth according to God's word. And how we live our life is according to what? God's word. Not according to what we think. Is that all right? Because what we think with a carnal mind never will line up with the way God thinks. He says, your thoughts are not my thoughts. Neither my ways are what? In fact, he said, my ways are what? Higher than your ways. And you know why? Why is it higher than our ways? Why? What do you think, Tom? Because we're flesh and human, good, and what else, Tom? We're the sinful nature. That's it. I was going to say because he's just the creator. He's the creator of us. That's it. The creator can't be more smarter than, a creature can't be more smarter than the creator. Is that right? That's all true. That's just like a teacher and a student. You know, you in 3rd grade, and she done graduated and got her master's. And you know more. You know, some kids think so. But it don't work that way. You know? So that's why the Bible says that, you know, the part of the clay. The clay can never be the what? That's it, the one to form. We need forming. Come on. So the clay can't say to the potter, you know what, hey, you need to do something different. The potter says, I already know I need to do something different because you ain't turning out right. Is that all right? Yeah. So therefore, you know, God knows what we need. And he knows who we are. The Bible even said that he didn't know our thoughts before he what? before we think it. Amen. Because he's what? He's God. So I want to get ready to open up the floor, which I normally always do. But to questions, because I think of our brother on Sunday, that you open up with a lot of different questions. This is the time, really, man, let it go. You know, whatever, just let it go. Whatever you feel, whatever you think, just let it go. Because this is the time that we got the time to go through the word, or we got the time to, you know, do whatever. So if there are any questions, I want to go a little bit over what you're saying in Malachi. Let's go to Malachi, because you were talking about, I think that you read or you heard.
I read, I talked to, I think long ago, a week or so before that, how he said he hated his, love Jacob, hated his brother Esau, whatever it was.
Yes.
I was talking to Lonnie about that, he gave me some points on it, but it's still a little washy from, you know. Then goes and then go by, you get to sit down and read the whole thing, so you figure out more about it.
All right, that's awesome. So Monty, what did you tell him? Amen. So let's get ready to go to Malachi 3. And I think that was awesome too, because a lot of people do feel as though, you know, the Bible is contradictory, which is not. I had to come to learn that. And the reason why is we think on the scale of the Western thinking, on human, things, or thinking in what the Webster Dictionary say. And like I said before, some people think, oh, it's the way you believe. A belief has nothing to do with truth. So look at your neighbor and say, belief has nothing to do with truth. And that's what people get confused about. Belief has nothing to do with truth, and it has nothing to do with a lie. Belief just something that a person decides to have in order to justify how they feel about certain things. So it don't have to be truth, and it don't have to be a lie. It's just based on their opinion of what they feel, okay, and what they have grown up with or what they think. So belief is not based on truth or neither a lie. So, but the thing about it is, when it comes down to truth, that's why the Bible says that the Holy Spirit is truth. Because truth sets us what? Free. And he that is free is what? Free. Free indeed. And that's why the devil is the father of what? All lies. And that's why it's important is that we don't run from truth. Even though it might sound crazy, or you might not have been raised in a particular way, or you might have been taught differently, and then when you start hearing the truth preached, and I'm going to show you in God's word, is that where it would sound like, you know what, that don't sound right, because you know what, I wasn't raised like that. So you say, well, how is that? While we're looking at Malachi 3, we're going to go over a little bit on hate. About why did God say he hate Esau? But before we go there too, I want y'all to hold that while Monty is getting his thoughts, because I want to hear what he said or explain. But I also too want to go to St. John 6 and establish that some things that people are taught, and the reason why I'm going here is because Peter they was taught something totally different before Jesus Christ came on the scene. Is that all right? They were of the Torah. You know, they was of the tradition of men. You know, they was taught a lot concerning the scribes' teachings and the Pharisees' teaching of the Ten Commandments, and the tradition of men will be some of the traditions of, you know what, wash your hands, because if you don't, you know, you're breaking a commandment. And that had nothing to do with the commandment of God. It had something to do with their own commandment. That, how many understand what I'm saying? So the Pharisees had commandments too. laws that they have written up outside of the law of God that they wanted people to obey, and they counted as the 10 Commandments. But it was not a part of the commandment of God. And that's why God told them, said, look here, you hypocrite, you vipers. Jesus began to call them out for who they were. And they didn't like it. So there was things that was Peter was taught. So go to John 6 and go to the 31st verse and read on down. Before we get there, and I want to just establish this. The reason why I'm establishing again is because sometimes, I thank God for time in a lot of them that have stayed with this ministry. After being taught a lot of different things, they look at this woman and say, how in the world you, what? Tanya was questioning everything that I was doing. Everything. But the one thing I love is that while they was questioning, they was learning. And they wasn't taking an opinion of mine because I wasn't giving no opinion. I said, well, this is what the word say. Don't get mad at me, right? You can't get mad at the word because the word of God is the word of God. Now, you might have people that say, men wrote the word of God. Well, they had to for me to read it. Well, they the one that translated, and that's why it ain't validated. Well, I can't read Hebrew. Can you? I can't read Arabic. Can you? So I thank God for giving men the ability to translate from Hebrew, Arabic, and put it in English so that I can read it and understand, even though I might have to go to the Hebrew language and translate it in English so I can understand what they say. But the thing about it is that God has given me a tool to read and study so I can learn about Him and learn how I'm supposed to live. Yes. Is that all right? Amen. So when somebody starts preaching to you, oh no, the Bible was written all kind of ways by men, it ain't real. Oh, the devil is a liar. Come on. God had to put it in your language so you can understand it, because you can't, okay, how much you speak in tongue, you're not speaking Arabic. And I don't understand a word coming out of your mouth. So 6 and 6, so we want to establish that there are some things that God wants us to understand, is that we can be taught differently. We can understand differently. But when truth comes, we don't want to run from the truth, but we want to what? Stick right there like disciples and say, wait a minute, what you mean? What is that you? I don't understand why you say that. Why do the Bible mean this? Why are you doing it? What is Jesus saying? And so he began to let Peter know, what is your problem? You getting offended? Are you getting offended? So John 6 and 6, before we go to hate, why God hate. So I just want you to open up your mind and say, you know what, man, Jesus understands where I am. Because we was all there. So there's no shoe that Jesus had not walked in. There is nothing that he cannot encounter. There is nothing that he cannot fix. So, St. John the 6th chapter, the 31st verse, when Jesus began to talk about, I'm the bread of life. He said, our fathers did eat manna in the desert, as it is written. Anytime you see, and I want you to note this, anytime you see as it is written, it's talking about the Mosaic law, what God gave Moses. Anytime you see that the tradition of men or the law, most time that is talking about the Pharisees, the law of tradition, the laws of the Pharisees. Anytime it talks about Mosaic law, what God has given Moses, it's going to specifically say written. And that's because the Arabics always specify the things of God as most important. Is that all right? The things of God as most important. So he says, our fathers did eat manna in the desert, as it is written. He gave them bread from heaven to eat. Then Jesus said unto them, verily, verily, which means truly, truly, I say unto you, Moses gave you not that bread from heaven, that my Father giveth you, the true bread from heaven. In other words, he distinguished that. Look here, the 10 Commandments, what Moses gave, that's not the true bread. He's coming to himself and saying, I'm the one that came down through 42 generations to save you. So I am that what? True bread. 33. For the bread, now this is what Jesus is telling the disciples now. He's teaching them. He said, for the bread of God is he which what? Cometh down from who? From heaven, and giveth what? Unto who?
Unto the world.
Come on, unto the world, which is us. Come on, so who is he speaking of? Himself. He's talking about himself. So he's letting them know, I'm the one that came down to 14th generation. I'm the one that was the Word was God, the Word was with God. The same was in the beginning with God. The same is now. So he said, that's me. I'm giving my life for you. Then said they unto him. Now, who is that? Somebody shout the disciples. Then said they unto him, Lord. See, that's how you know it's the disciples, because they call him what? Lord, because they was under his what? Leadership. And they normally did what he asked them to do, except for Judas. Okay? So he said unto them, Lord, evermore give us this bread. So they weren't thinking about this bread being Jesus. They were like, man, give me that Winn-Dixie loaf. Give me that, what's the other bread? Moretta bread. Give me that Moretta bread. Give me that regular bread. That's the bread you got this loaf of better? Give me some of that. They was not looking at Jesus and him talking about himself. They was gone. They were like, man, you got some of that wonder bread? So he says this. Jesus said in the 35th verse, and Jesus said unto them, I am. Who somebody shout, I am. I am. I am the bread. Wait a minute, hold it. Y'all think you think the disciple was deep like Jesus? They wasn't that deep, they was calm. they were trying to figure everything out. They was waiting on the Messiah. And even John, when he was in prison, like, ask Jesus, is he the one? Is he that's his first cousin. That's my first cousin. Is he really the one that, are you the Messiah? The first cousin being the Messiah. So John really didn't know. And Jesus had to send a message to him and say, yeah, it's me, John, your first cousin. I'm the Christ. Yeah, I'm the Messiah, I'm God. You see? So they didn't really know. So right here, their understanding was not really where it should be. You kind of think walking with God 3 years, they would have been like, bam, I got this. But most time, we don't have it what we think that we have. Let me understand that. There was a lot of times when I was preaching, and I was preaching the word, and I thought I really understood it until my leader said, baby, you ain't got it. No, that ain't what that means. And we get on the defense. What? Now, how could I get upset with my leader, and she's the one that's teaching me, and I'm under her leadership? Come on. Amen. So the student had to get humble and listen and be taught how to study God's word. You know, and what God was saying. Because we can take this word and we can make it, and make it sound and make it what we want it to make. Is that all right? But what it really is, it is not. How do you understand that? So that's why it's important to understand, okay, God, what you really trying to say? So with this, he says this. Jesus says, I am. Somebody shout, I am.
I am.
The bread of life. He that cometh to me shall never hunger, and he that believeth on me shall never what? Thirst again. Now believe you that any teachings from any human in the Arabic world over there in Israel speak like this, they was called lunatic. They became blasphemous or blasphemy. And they were stoned to death. And seeing that's what they tried to do with Jesus. They wanted to stone Jesus because he was saying that me and my Father are one. What you mean? How can you tell a man, oh, get up off your bed, thy sins are forgiven? Who are you to forgive sin? They wanted to stone Jesus because of the fact that in their culture, it's only one above, that's God and Muhammad, whoever, you know. But no human being called themselves God or forgave sin. So I want you to understand this picture right here. Okay? So what Peter them been taught all these years, to trust a man that they don't know, to follow a man that said that he is the Messiah. He is human just like them. He eat bread like them. He walked like them. He dressed. He was making tables and chairs just like any other human being. But they had to trust this man to say he is God. That's just like y'all trust me. If I start saying, close your Bible, I'm God. Oh, wait a minute. What's she talking about, you God? Oh, the devil is a lie. Trying to be the first one to say, cast that devil out, I'm going to go. I got to go. And but that's how it was. That's the teaching that they had. They didn't follow people. If it didn't come from the Torah, if they didn't read it from the Torah, they called you a lunatic. And Jesus did not look like a Messiah. So automatically, they didn't trust him. He was already not of the Sanhedrin council. So his status quo was already down to the ground. He was like one of the poor because he was a carpenter's son. So he was poor. So they had him on a low, poor status. And the only two status there was rich, poor. There was no in between like it is in America. You got the blue collar worker, you got the white collar, and you got no collar. Is that all right? And you got none. So they didn't have like the same status that we have in America. So it's only rich or poor. And they looked down on the poor. So you got to understand what the disciples' mind were. The disciples' mind was just like ours. Wait a minute. You sure you ain't? You know? So what else happened? He says here what? So he says, you'll never thirst again. But I say what? I said what? Unto you. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But I said unto you that ye also have seen me and believe not.
Uh-oh. So Jesus telling the disciples, you done seen me. You done seen the miracles I did. You done seen the demons I done cast out. You done heard me teach. And you still don't believe. You done walked with me 3 years. Now it's almost time for me to leave you. Still don't what? Believe. But a lot of times what we did, and I used to take the same scripture and preach it too when I was younger. I never looked at the fact that these disciples really didn't know who Jesus was. He was just a mere man. They really didn't understand the teachings that Jesus was telling them. Because there's sometimes that Jesus says, you don't understand what I'm saying? What's wrong with you? If you lack understanding, acts of what? Acts of me. So they really didn't understand. I would go off and just begin to preach about the bread of life. I really didn't preach on the disciples. I preached on who Jesus was. But see, that was lack of teaching and lack of knowledge. Because if I really understood what was going on, I would have just preached on Jesus was the bread of life. I would have preached on the mere fact that disciples were just like us. And Jesus knew it. All our learning, we still don't believe. All our getting, we still don't believe. We find ourselves in doubt. We find ourselves not believing the very word and exercising the very word that God gives. We find ourselves trusting other things and believing other things. So look here. So he tells them, you don't believe. And what happened?
All that the Father giveth me shall come to me. And him that cometh to me, I will in no wise cast out.
He says, I will in no wise what?
Cast out.
So now I want you to go to, we're going to hurry up. So now I want you to go to the 53rd verse. You can read the rest when you get home. Because I want to get to Esau right quick before we get out of here.
Then Jesus said unto them, Verily, verily, I say unto you.
Wait a minute. I say what? Go to the 51st verse.
Okay.
Where he says, I am the living bread.
Okay. I am the living bread, which came down from heaven.
Come on.
If any man eat of this bread, he shall live forever.
Come on. Jesus said, now, if you eat of me, I am the living bread, you will live forever. What that means is that when I have Christ in my life, and I receive him as my Savior, and I continue to walk according to God's word, not according to the pastor what he says or she says, but according to the word of God, and apply it to my life, I am guaranteed that I'll make it to heaven if I continue now to walk according to God's word. Did you have a question? You got
I got something to say. Way I was called.
Oh, give the microphone.
Was the bread's like a sponge. When he says, "I am the bread of life," what he
Yeah.
does, what he meant is,
He soaks in of the sin of us in that bread.
Yes.
All right, and that's what I get from it. It's like, he's the bread. We're the soup or whatever that we usually soak up the,
Yeah.
and that he takes that from us, and that's what it means. That's what I think.
Oh, well, that's a good analogy. I never thought about it like that. Even though I use bread and soup.
Right, and you know what?
Yeah, and it soaks it up.
Yeah, it soaks it up.
Yeah.
You know, that's,
And then we can what? We don't just let it soak up. What we do with it? Because we eat it. That's it. So, in other words, is that what you said is good, but the bread got to be eaten.
right.
So if I just let the soup, the bread soak up the soup, and just leave it,
Right.
is it, you want me to know?
Yeah, I know that.
Right. So that analogy don't really, it sounds good, but it's not complete, should I say. It's not complete. So for me to have a complete, knowing the nourishment of that, because the body got to be nourished. So if I eat the bread, which is his word, because God is the word. How many got that? First, St. John 1:1. So you can understand. So Jesus is the word. So it's the word of God. And what the word that is written here comes out of the mouth of God. So that's why the devil don't want us to understand this word or live by this word or read this word. Because he knows it is self-changing. It's powerful. So therefore, that word that soaks up all that soup, and here it is, and give us all the nutrition that we need when we begin to eat the word along with the soup. And the soup can be the Holy Spirit, or we can be the soup or whatever. But if we eat that bread along with whatever we get, so that soup can be the Holy Spirit, that soup can be the joy, that soup can be the love, and we put all that soup can be prayer, that soup can be fasting. So we soak that up with the word of God, and we begin to eat it. What's going to happen? We become stronger. Is that all right? We become fatter. We become, we're able to we become more strengthened and able to do what? Anything. Somebody shout, that's what I'm talking about. That's some good super word. Is that all right?
Yes, ma'am.
Amen. I like that. I want you to keep on saying something. What else you going to say?
That's it.
Oh, that's it? Okay. I mean, he got the microphone, like I got something else to say. I'm not finished yet. So, praise God. So in that's what he said. He says, look, this bread, so read on right quick.
And the bread that I will give is my flesh.
Come on, the bread that I will give is my flesh. So he's talking about all this, the skin. Go ahead.
Which I will give for the life of the world.
Come on, which I will give for the life of this world. I mean, I'm going to hang on the cross. Come on.
The Jews,
go ahead.
The Jews therefore strove among themselves.
Come on,
saying,
they strove among themselves. They quarreled. See, strove here, you got strove, quarrel. Quarrel. We call quarreling fussing, disagreeing. Go ahead and bickering. Go ahead.
Saying, how can this man give us his flesh to eat?
So now, do you understand this? Now, do you see what's going on? So it's an argument going on. So you got the Jews saying, this man is crazy. And the disciples kind of looking like, Jesus ain't crazy. Well, how are the man going to do this? They want to do that. He said, he's God. I believe him. Because you got Peter the rock. He said, this rock. He said, Peter, this rock. I'm going to name you the rock. I'm going to build my church. I'm on the rock. And the gates of hell shall not. Yeah, against it. So Peter looking like, yeah, okay. Yeah, he is human. He talking about flesh. I don't really understand what he's talking Jesus said she gonna give the bread as her flesh. What? I ain't eat her toes. I ain't eat her feet. I ain't eat her. Can you imagine him teaching that? So you can see how confused they are. Oh my God. Come on. Read on right quick.
The Jews therefore saying, how can this man?
Yeah, read again. How can this man
give us his flesh to eat?
They was thinking carnal. They was thinking natural. How can this man give us his flesh? Y'all listen to him. Y'all must be crazy too to be listening to him. See, that's how it is when some people come into this ministry and they've been taught so differently. And then when you hear somebody to preach directly from God's word without an opinion. I'm not giving you an opinion. I'm just illustrating exactly their emotion, how they're thinking, so you can understand what kind of emotions is going on here. I'm not giving you no opinion. Because opinion, everybody got one. And opinions don't matter. What matters is God's word and the facts that comes with it. Is that right? That's where we get the truth. Go ahead.
Then Jesus said unto them, verily, verily, I say unto you.
Now look, Jesus said, verily, verily, truly, truly, I say unto you.
Except ye eat the flesh of the Son of Man.
Except you eat the flesh, and he's still talking about flesh, and anything about him, his natural body. The flesh of the Son of Man.
And drink his blood.
Oh my God, drink his blood. Oh my God, this is becoming sacrilege. What is going on here? Now he's really going on the deep end, man. He's really, something's wrong. John, did you get that? Simon, did you get that? This crazy, man. Go ahead.
Ye have no life in me.
This is your cousin. It's your brother. You better stop him. He's gonna get killed. Something's wrong with him.
There's
Go
something
ahead.
wrong with him.
What did you say, Andrew?
No, I was referring
Oh.
to what you said.
Go ahead.
Ye have no life in you.
You have no life in you. Go ahead. Because the blood is what? Life. The blood of Jesus Christ is life. Come on.
Whoso eateth my flesh and drinketh my blood hath eternal life.
Go ahead.
And I will raise him up at the last day.
Oh, I will at the last day. What is the last day? What is the last? Is he talking about when we all die and go to heaven? Wow. Can this man be really, is he lost some ends here? Go ahead.
For my flesh is meat indeed, and my blood is drink indeed.
So God is, Jesus is talking confident. It is indeed is something. Indeed, say, I'm confident in who I am and what I can do and what I am going to do. Not everybody can be confident like that, especially back in those days, because you're going to get stoned to death. And that was going to be it. When they heard the least little thing come out your mouth about you got what? Stone him. They just start stone. And that's what they do now over there. How many of you know they do that now? Yeah. If a person steals, they cut the hand off. That law is still in existence. There's some parts of the culture still won't let women in the temple because it's their old custom that women can come in the temple. So they just had a fight not too long ago, about some months ago. And they just had almost like a riot because that old custom is still in effect. And then what they're trying to do, they say, you're just trying to change our old custom. Well, you're in the 21st, 22nd century. And God fulfilled that law. What are you talking about? Y'all made that custom. God did not make that. The tradition of man, the Pharisees, the Torah, the scribes, they made that law. It had nothing to do with God. Go ahead.
He that eateth my flesh and drinketh my blood dwelleth in me, and I in him.
Come on.
As the living Father hath sent me, and I live by the Father, so he that eateth me, even he shall live by me.
Go back. He said, he that what?
Eateth me.
He that eateth me. He that eateth Theon. He that eateth Tanya. He that eateth Pam. Does that sound crazy? He said, he that eateth, somebody shout, he that eateth me.
He that eateth me.
Can you imagine what the disciple was thinking? What kind of teaching is this? Crazy, isn't it? Go ahead.
Even he shall live by me.
Even he shall live by me. So see, they were still in doubt of who Jesus really was. I told somebody to get St. John 1:1. Did you get it? Go to it right quick while we read on. Go ahead.
This is that bread which came down from heaven.
This is that bread which came down from heaven.
Not as your fathers did eat manna.
Not as your father did eat manna.
And are dead.
Are dead.
He that eateth.
And who he talking about? He's talking about who? The children of
the patriarch.
That's right. The one that was in Egypt. That's it. Moses and all of them. They ate regular bread. They did. But he was telling them, said, look, I come down from heaven. This is me. St. John 1:1 says what? You got a microphone? And this is why, so you understand what Jesus is saying, that he's the bread of life. He is the word.
It reads.
You want to go to it, Anthony? I mean, well, you can't if you.
Yeah, I can.
Okay, go ahead. And then we're going to go flip it right back and then bam.
In the beginning was the Word. And the Word was with God.
In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God. And the Word was God. So, in other words, just as they begin to talk in the Garden of Eden, when he says, they have become like us. That was Jesus himself, because he is God. The Word became flesh, spoken word. God himself took a part of himself and spoke himself into. He said, well, who created God? How in the world would a God create another God? There would be some issues there. It's only one God that created everything. There is no other. If there was another God, there would be a problem, because that God would want blue while the other won't pink. I mean, understand that. There would be some problems there. So he says, in the beginning, before the world was existent, the Bible says, in the beginning, God what? Created heaven and earth. And spoke the world what? Into existence. Spoken word. God himself came down in the likeness of what? Sinful flesh. Go ahead. So the Word was in the beginning, and it was with God, and it was God. When he said, let us make man, Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, all one. So read on a little bit from that, from the first verse.
Verse 2. It says the same was in
I think I'm on verse 2. Go 14, yeah, a little bit down. Go ahead.
Well, you want me to go to 14 first?
Yeah.
Okay. And it reads, it says, and the Word was made flesh.
There you go. And the Word was made flesh. So right here, that's what Jesus was talking about. Y'all, you're not getting it, Peter, y'all. The Word was made flesh. God was made flesh. And what?
And dwelled among us.
And dwelled among us. In other words, not us, but Peter and over in Jerusalem. He dwelt amongst them. The disciples, right here, he dwelt amongst them. And what happened?
And we beheld his glory.
They beheld the glory of God. Flesh clothed. And why did it clothe it? Because no man can see God, what? Look upon God at any time unless they what? Die. That's just like looking at the sun. Nobody can look at the sun and directly look at when it's really bright in its glory. You can't, I don't care what you can have the best set shades on and can't look directly into the sun. A ball of fire in all of his glory. So Jesus himself, being wrapped in flesh, was able to walk amongst man so that man can live and they can look upon him and live. Go ahead.
The glory as of the only begotten of the Father.
Right.
Full of grace and truth.
Full of grace and truth. Now let's go back right quick. So full of grace and truth. So we understand that the flesh, the bread that he's talking about is the Word. The Word of God, which is the Word of life. This same Word, this spoken Word. And then God, how he walks with us now is through human beings. That's how he walks through us and in us. And when you love him, you pay attention to him. Woo! When you love him, he got every bit of your attention. When you love him, you want to ask questions questions about him. When you love him, you want to absorb everything about him. Oh my God. That means when I come in that door, I don't come in any kind of way. I'm ready to receive. I'm ready to absorb. I'm ready to get what he got for me. Come on, get that sit time. I'm ready to eat. Come on. Amen. Praise God. And know that he's able to make everything right in my life. Come on, because if things are not right in my life, then I'm not doing the word of God. Come on, is that all right? Come on, unless Paul said that certain things you're going to suffer. Come on, but you suffer for the right, not for the what? For the wrong. And then I know the difference. I got to check over my life. I got to do an inventory. Is that all right? Because if things are happening that should not happen, that means I need to line myself up with God's word. Because one thing God said, he said, prosper even as your what? Soul prosper and be in what? Good health. Come on, give God a hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
So go back to it. So he says this. So this is what, see, that word, so you can understand where Peter and that, so they see that, look here, this man is my cousin. Okay. My brother. He's talking. I don't understand what he's saying. And then they start grumbling. They got upset. Go ahead.
These things said he in the synagogue, as he taught in Capernaum. Many therefore of his disciples, when they had heard this, said...
Now underline and key that. When they had heard this. So you can understand. They didn't understand everything Jesus was talking about. They didn't understand all the teachings. But look what they did. Ask questions, they didn't run. But they like Tanya. Tanya put it on y'all. Hold it, Pastor. I don't get it. You got to show me something better. Because why? She won't it. Come on. She don't want to be, it's what I think. It ain't about what you think. It's about what the word says. And I want to do what the word says. I want to know what God wants me to know. I don't want to know what I want to know. But God, I need to know what you want me to know. Like Dion was saying, humility. I want to be humble. I want to be teachable. I want to love him. I want to grow in him. Come on. I want to chase after God. I never had to chase after my father. If I wanted something from my father, all I had to do was go to him. Daddy, can I get $10? He might look at me and say, well, Jenny, did you do your chores? That's what a father will do. Did you do this? Did you do that? Come on. But if I did everything, there ain't no problem. Say, come on in my lap. Come on up here, baby. Let me give you some money. They said, I chase after you. God, you got to chase after God. He said, he gave us the ability to come to his throne boldly and ask of him. You got access. Somebody shout, I got access. Woo! Peter had access, Monty. And they still didn't understand. So don't think that you're supposed to understand everything in a year. But if you don't study God's word, if you don't be under one that can help you study God's word, then you letting God, well, you know what, I believe whatever I want to believe. I believe whatever I want to work. I had to get teaching. I stayed under my teaching. Because I wanted truth. I wanted to understand. I wanted to know. Because that's how much I loved them. Is that all right? So go ahead right quick.
Many therefore of his disciples, when they had heard this,
I feel this thing. Go ahead.
This is a hard saying.
He said, what now? Read that one more time.
Many therefore of his disciples, when they had heard
this,
said,
many therefore of his disciples. This one that men, they know his lifestyle. They walk with him. They see the miracles. He taught many times that he's God. He's getting ready to leave them. He's getting ready to be crucified. And he's preparing them. And they still ain't getting it. So don't be hard on yourself if you don't get it all in one day. Don't be hard on yourself if you don't get it all in 1 year. Keep asking questions. Keep challenging. Keep studying. Go ahead. So he says this.
This is a hard saying. Who can hear it?
This is a hard saying. And Jesus knew because what? How they was taught. That's why it's easier to teach sinners than it is folks that come out of other people's churches. That's why for years I was wondering, like, why my pastor always say they'd rather have sinners than have people that come out of other people's churches. It's because all that stuff that they've been taught, they want to bring it in the church and then tell the pastor how to pastor. No, you don't know what you're talking about. What you talking about? But when you get sinners, when they give their life to God, they're humble, they're ready to eat, they're ready to understand. Not believe everything, but they're ready to understand. Well, how do you get that? Where'd that come from? You see, that hunger and that thirst, rather than that rebuttal or that defense. Woo! Come on, give God praise. Come on, give God a hallelujah. Why I can't drink wine and still be saved? Jesus made wine. That was water. But he still made wine, but it wasn't the fermented wine. Come on. Go ahead.
When Jesus knew in himself that his disciples murmured as it.
Now you know that must have hurt Jesus. He done been with him, Dion. It hurt me when you said that's all I gave y'all was, you're going to hell. You don't, you're going to hell. Shame on you. Hurt me. That's all she preached. Yeah, you're going to hell if you don't get your life right now. Get you mad. Come on. They came under some tough worry though. I mean, boy, they got nothing but meat. They didn't get no cornbread. They didn't get no milk. I wish I was preaching fire and brimstone. That's what they needed. So he said, so Jesus has been hurt. So he says this. Read again. So he says, man, I know this is a hard saying.
When Jesus knew in himself that his disciples murmured at it.
Look here, Jesus didn't ask them before he knew it. He knew before he asked them. They probably was giving some crazy looks. Like, serious? They probably looking up in the sky. You know, I don't understand this. So he said, I know this is hard because how y'all been taught here. Y'all been taught from the Torah. Y'all been talking about different things about the Mosaic law and all this tradition of men. I know this is totally different. Go ahead.
Does this offend you?
He said, read again. When Jesus knew in himself that his disciples murmured at it, they murmured at his teaching. He said unto them, do this offend you? Oh, there you go, deep. Do this offend you? Are you really getting upset because I'm telling you that I am the bread of life? Are you really getting mad because, and you talking amongst yourself and not agreeing that my blood, drink my blood, you will live forever? Are you really not understanding this? So you see, Tommy, they walked with God and still wouldn't even receive. But one thing they didn't do, they didn't leave him. Come on, give God praise. Like you, Tanya, I ain't going nowhere. I know the truth is here. I know the deliverance is here. I know the word is here. I know God is moving. And I know I can get what I need if I stay under the teaching and do what God wants me to do. Woo! Come on, give God praise. Hallelujah. So what happened?
What and if ye shall see the Son of Man ascend up where he was before?
Come on. He said, now what if you see me ascend up where I was before? Where was I before? I was in heaven.
It is the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing.
Come on.
The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life.
He had to break it down to him. This is spirit. I'm not talking about my natural body. I'm not talking about the natural blood. But this is spirit. Come on. And this is life. I'm getting ready to leave you. I'm getting ready to transcend. I'm getting ready to go back to my Father. I'm getting ready to become me. Come on.
But there are some of you that believe not.
He said, I'm pointing you out. There's some of you that just don't believe.
For Jesus,
go ahead.
For Jesus knew from the beginning.
Now underline that. So you can understand this. Jesus knew from the what? Beginning. Who they what?
Were that believe not. And who should betray you?
Nobody had to tell Jesus nothing. Because wait, somebody shout, he's God.
He's God.
He knew their thoughts before they thought
it. That's right.
In fact, he even knew what they were going to think before they was born. He knew the situation he was going to be in before they all was born.
Yes.
So that's who God is. Go ahead.
And he said, therefore said I unto you, that no man can come unto me except it were given unto him of my Father.
No man can come unto. So we established that there are some things, that you have been taught that's totally different from this ministry. Maybe totally different from another. But long as they're not giving you what they think, because I know a lot of preachers, they get behind the pulpit. I had a pastor that, like I said, he was preaching that Joshua, the walls of Jericho came tumbling down. I was preaching that too. I was preaching a lie. Because the walls didn't come tumbling down. In Hebrew, that phrase meant and said, and what they spoke in Hebrew, that the ground opened up and the walls went down into the earth. That's a totally big difference from Western talk. Fell down and the ground opened up and the wall went down in the earth. And Joshua then went over and they began to come. How we know that's true? Because Ahab, I'm saying it right now, Rahab. Why do I always say Ahab? Rahab. See, you got to be there to help me. Rahab. If it would have fell down, Rahab, the promise wouldn't have been fulfilled in her life to save her house. I mean, understand that. But by the walls, by the earth opening up, and the walls went down to earth, because God knew, look here, I got to save her house. And the victory would go to God. But if they would have failed down, there wouldn't have been no victory at all. So now, let's go to Malachi 1 so we can understand and have your mind open to, even the disciples did not understand the teachings of God. But they stood right there, and God, after a while, when you go to read it, he started explaining even more to them, and they started understanding what Jesus was saying to them. Amen. That this is all spirit. When I leave here, that you understand that the Word of God. And he breaks it down about the Word being the Word of God, the bread being the Word. And he breaks it down by the blood. The blood is not the grape juice. Even though we do it, it's not the grape juice. Amen. It's the Holy Spirit. Is that all right? So, now, let's go to, we said Malachi 3 and 2. So, Monty. Malachi 1.
Malachi 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. So are we there? So now, we're looking at Hebrew. I think I wanted, you got it? Yeah. Go ahead. Now, look at Malachi 1 and 3. You got a microphone?
Yeah.
And I want to hear what you explain to him.
All right, in Malachi 1 and 3, it says, and I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. It wasn't that God hated Esau the individual, he hated Esau, the nation in which he became. At this time was Edom. So if you go back to the beginning of Jacob and Esau, which is the sons of Isaac and Rebekah, in the word it says that they struggled in the womb. Esau came first and Jacob come following, grabbing the heel of Esau. And what is happening here that Esau or Edom had become a prideful, greedy, violent nation at this time. And so God didn't hate the individual, he hated what they had become. So, and if you go to Nahum 1 and 1, God is a jealous God, and he is a vengeful God. So he did exactly the ones that wasn't with him. He took care of them, and I've got more notes. I didn't realize I was going to go over this tonight, but I have more. But So that was what I was trying to explain to him. It wasn't that he actually hated Esau, the individual. It was what he had become, the nation of Edom.
But now you're saying that he hated, I mean, what are you saying that he hated? I mean, what you're saying displaying hate?
He hated the fact that they had become a prideful, greedy, violent nation.
No. I guess you explained to him, in other words, you explained to him about a people, you know, that stemmed from Esau, the Edomites, and what they did, but I think what we're looking for is hate, period. You see what I'm saying? You understand? You know?
Well, I'm hating for a reason. I'm looking at, I mean, he is pure hateful for some reason. I just can't figure out what it was. I mean,
well,
I just can't figure it out or refine it. There's a key word in the 3 chapters in there that lays out.
oh, get you right here. So we're like, I think this is awesome. Go ahead.
Like Monty said, you know, God is jealous and he's ruthless. When he wants to be, he's going to be ruthless. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's God. It's going to be his way or no way. But there's a key word in Malachi, and I went back over and I read it and I can't find the word, but there was something that Esau did or some reason or something that he hated, and I can't figure out what it was for. And I had another preacher in prison, his name was Elmo Oates. I don't know if you ever heard of him or not, but he broke it down for me, and he was breaking it down something like, Monty over here was trying to break it down too, talking about like the nations or whatever it was, but he hated, I feel that he hated the individual himself for some reason. I just can't.
So this is what I want to, and the reason why I'm bringing it to you this way so you can understand, and why it's not complete. This thought is not complete. Number one is that the word hate in Hebrew is totally different from the Western dictionary. So, say it again. I think we had this before. You remember that? Remember the study? But not the, oh no, not the hate, but we had Esau.
I think I was reading somewhere with Hebrew, the word hate means not chosen.
No, that don't. Yeah, it don't mean not chosen. But you're still going good people. It don't mean not chosen.
Not true.
Yeah, but no, it don't mean not chosen. But that's all right. But you did good though. So when we're looking at hate in our Webster dictionary says what? What is hate in our Webster dictionary? Who can get it? And this is what we want to, this is what you want. And this is the answer that you need. Because our Webster dictionary says one thing. Now, God didn't tell me he hated because of the nation that they were. Now, the reason why he did with Esau and Edomites, because of the fact that Esau gave away his birthright. Something that God had given him. Now, most times, when in the custom of a father that has given a heritage to one and not the other, it meant that the one he gave a heritage to is the one that he loved. And the one that he did not give one to mean that he hated them. Okay, now, it don't mean literal hate like we take in the Western world. Okay, our meaning. So, our dictionary says intense hostility, hate. An aversion usually deriving from what? Fear, anger, and a what? Sense of injury. This is what we're putting God as. So this is where your thought process is. That's why we can't come to an understanding. Because we want to know, why in the world God feeling anger toward Esau? Why do God have a sense of injury, want to do harm to him? Why do God is feeling intense hostility? That's our version. That's not the word and what it means. Now, try to go to and try, if you can, pull up.
What was the website?
It's not a website. Just go to Google and just Google the meaning of hate. And which,
Because
I have it right here.
that's what I did.
But it means to distance. Hate in Hebrew means to distance. That's all. There is no emotion with it. There is no emotion of anger. There is no emotion of intent. Man. Yeah. Just, don't do hate a definition. Just do meaning. Well, you can't pull it up over there because your search engine might be a little bit different. You want to go help them out. Okay, so in Hebrew, the word is sane. Put that down. Hebrew hate is the word sane. S-A-N-E. Not idiom or idiom. I-D-I-O-M. Don't put that one because that's something totally different. Years ago in ancient history, they would go by pictograms. They would go by letters. Letters was root words of things of a meaning of a word. So you would have a couple of letters in a word that would mean something totally different. You had to go back to that letter and get the root of that letter to bring forth a meaning in the whole word. What you going to say?
Turn against someone.
No, sane. Sane. S-A-N-E. It means to distance. That's all, to distance himself. To distance. So God did, and this hate is not an emotion like us. And so you'll see the difference. It's not an emotion. So when God said, I love Esau, I love Jacob, I always do that too. And you got to help me out when I'm preaching on Sunday. I love Jacob, and I hate Esau. It means that I distanced myself from Esau. And Esau people was not chosen. He chose who? Jacob. Go to Deuteronomy 4 and 37. The seed. He was the chosen seed. And the reason why I think 4 and 17. And we might want to, I don't want to get, one day we're going to go into the whole story. We don't go through the whole story of Esau, about where God comes from and who was Esau. Edom means red. So in this, it gives us a little bit of understanding. So what God was here was telling them that, the Edomites did do wrong. They did do abominable things. They were wicked people. But God, with Esau and Jacob, is that when he began to sell his birthright, can you get that too? When he began to sell his birthright to his brother for a thing of porridge so he can eat, that right there, he gave away all that God had intended on him to have as a firstborn. How many understand that? Being the custom of a firstborn meant that you get everything. You have the right to get everything in the custom of the Hebrews. And over in those customs still exist today over in Israel. So, what do you got?
Genesis 25.
Okay, hold that. Don't get it yet. Read. I said 4 and what? Oh, I'm sorry. I think 4 and 37. Or 4 and... Wait a minute. I'm sorry. Wait, let me see. Yeah, 4 and 37.
And because he loved thy fathers.
Now, the Bible says in Deuteronomy, and the reason I'm going back to this one, he said, because I love your father. Who was the father? He said, I am the father. I'm the God of who? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. There you go. I am the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Now, y'all shout, those are the chosen seeds. Okay, so he didn't choose Esau. See, and the reason why he did is because Esau sold the last little bit of his inheritance as a firstborn and broke the custom of his generation.
That's why it said that. That's why he did.
Yes. It's not that they did wicked. It's not that all that. It's that it broke God's heart. That he broke that custom of being the firstborn, the law that was set by God and given to Moses for all the firstborns and what they're supposed to get. He broke it. He gave it to his brother because he was hungry. He was starving. But he didn't have to. His own brother Jacob, what? Lied, conned, cheated, and his mama helped him. So that's why we as parents, we got to make sure as Christians that we don't teach our kids to lie. Teach them to tell the truth. Don't beat them for telling the truth. Say, you know, I'm going to have to punish you for a little bit, but I'm not going to just, because she was honest, I'm not going to whoop her. But because my kids, if they come and tell me something they did and they were honest, okay, but you can't do that. You're going to get a long lecture from me. Now you do it again, I'm not going to get you. Go ahead.
I found a lot of what you're saying, what you're saying, I don't know if this is the same stuff, but it says right here, Jacob, I love Esau, I hated Jonathan, 22, Romans 9:13. It says, Esau is the only person that God said he hated, for either the Lord was so wounded about Esau's rejection of his prize given of the birthright, for substitute,
that God wanted to stay away from him.
Wait a minute, are you reading somebody else's articles?
No, well,
don't read nobody else's article. Don't do that. I love you. Yeah. Oh, that's good, but don't, I mean, it's all right to do it on your own, but we want to stay in the Word. Get it from the Word, but that's good. But we don't want to go with other people's articles. Is that all right? I mean, because sometimes they'll go so far, the next thing you know, they're going left field. So as long as we got the Word, that's what happens. So go ahead.
And because he loved thy father, therefore he chose.
Now, you see that? Because he loved thy what? Father. And who was the father again?
Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Because I love Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, I what?
Chose their seed.
I chose their seed. That's probably where you get chosen from. I chose their seed. So put that, underline that, key that. So you'll know that next time. I chose. You did good though. I'm impressed with you, Monty. Don't give my Monty a hand. You know I'm going hard on Monty. You better get this. And man, you did good. Man, so but it just incomplete. So he didn't hate them because they was wicked. He distanced himself. So look at your name and said he distanced himself. That's right. He distanced. So what else?
He chose their seed after them.
He chose their seed after them. After Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jasmine, do you know where we are? Do you understand what we're doing?
That's what I was about to ask.
Okay. So now, so we had Deuteronomy, you had Deuteronomy 4:37. So what we're doing, Jazz, is establishing in Malachi 1, 2, and 3, where what is your name again? Ernie. Our brother Ernie asked the question, why did God hate, since he's a loving God, why did he hate Esau and love Jacob? And so we want to come to a real understanding of, he didn't hate Esau because of his people, the tribe that was Edomites, and they did wicked. But hate in this sense is not an emotion of the Western dictionary that says intense, what it was? Hostility, or anger, fear, intending to do harm. You know, that kind of emotion, that this word here, hate, and this word here, in the described here in Hebrew, has no emotion with it. It only means to separate, to distance from. I mean, understand? So in that is the word S-A-N-E. Yeah, oh good, you did. Yeah. Yeah, there, see, that's what I want time in. I want the meeting. I want you to.
That's what I was saying was, what's the meaning for the word hate?
Right. Okay, but did it come up on an article? Somebody's article, did it come up on a dictionary, Hebrew dictionary? Or is it an article?
That's in a book.
So what it is in one of the books that breaks it down.
Yes.
Right, so that's not a person's article. In other words, not a... Yeah, that's it. So this is actually giving you the facts and breaking it down. So that makes a difference. So, let me see here. Hebrew word music.
We're over here.
Right. It's right. Get your hand a little bit. I can't even see what these guys
The root.
Where it's highlighted. It's a meaning of the root meaning of to hate in the Hebrew Bible suggests a forced separation. You see that? A forced separation. So that is distance. That's all. So you see, so we can stop it right there. So distance is what? Separation. Okay. So you got to go on. And then what it's doing is giving you stories of the word hate used in separation with Amalek and Isaac. You remember when he said, I hate? So Amalek is threatened by Isaac's change of status and drives him out of his territory. So it's giving you the different ways that this word hate in the Bible is being used. And if we look at it and read it, we'll be saying like, man, Amalek hated Isaac and Isaac hated, we'll be thinking the way we think.
Yeah.
But you got to look at the meaning of the Hebrew meaning. How many get that? Yes. So tell your neighbor, said, don't look at the Western way of thinking.
Don't look at the Western way of thinking.
Go ahead.
Don't do it.
I can see you clearly. So is that all right, Tanya? Good. Because I want you to grab it from, because you got to teach this thing. And I want you to be just as firm with me as, no, we're not going to go with nobody else, but when you get facts and stuff, that's where it's at. Because everybody else sometimes can go on. Me and Tanya have seen that in the notes in the Bible. They go off with something different. Go ahead, Tanya. Oh, what you going to say?
I was going to say, so it was saying, and I can't remember the source of the reading, said that, or God said that he hated Esau.
Yes.
That's where the question came from.
Yes.
So to show that,
So to show that I hate Esau, and he says, I have loved you, said the Lord, yet he say, wherein has thou loved us? What was not Esau Jacob's brother, said the Lord, yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau. So he want to know, why did God use, that word hate? Why did he hate Esau? So what we're determining and letting them know is that hate is not the way that we perceive it as hate, with emotion. Get your.
So for us, if we were to use it in the way that, like the Western dictionary, that would be a sin.
That's right, that would be a sin.
So God is a God that doesn't sin. So
that's right.
We got to read further into
the facts
in pulling out the Hebrew meaning and different things like that.
So now, do you understand what I mean by? Yeah, because I tell you, that's why people get, and that's what used to hem me up, because we never had, when we didn't have no technology, we had just the Bible. And here it is. It seemed like it was contradicting itself. Well, how in the world could God say one thing and then be this? So as technology became more and more advanced, then the Lord began to show me, said, look, Jennifer, the Western language is totally different. Then when you start getting certain dictionaries, the dictionary meanings start changing. Because even in fasting, years ago when I first started, I got to go to the dictionary, and fasting means to abstain from food. Willing to die. Now it tell you, just to do without television, food. You could do without the car. You could, and then they come up with Daniel fast. Daniel never fasted that way. Daniel ate vegetables, and Daniel knew that he had to abstain from the king's plate and not eat that meat because he would die. So he did not fast. His belly was full up with what? Vegetables. That's it. So there's no such thing. Daniel didn't fast that way. Daniel fasted the old custom way that they do now, with no food, with no water, for 3 days and nights. So is that all right? Cool. So do everybody understand? Everybody understand what the hate is? want you to, and we're gonna get ready to get out of here. Because I know some of them are tired.
Okay, you wanted me to go to about Esau selling his birthright, so that's Genesis 25.
Okay, Genesis 25, and I just want to stay right there, and we're gonna get ready to stand and get ready to go. Fonda, do you got it? You got it, baby?
25.
You get ready to preach on Sunday, you be ready to preach?
Oh, yeah.
You better get your message ready. Might be you and Joel and your mama.
Oh.
Supposed to be you Sunday, but God changed it. It's all right, but maybe you, so you better show me what you got. Come and show me, okay? I miss my baby preaching. Woo! Are you ready?
It's Genesis, the 25th chapter, verse 29 through 34. And it reads, it says, once Jacob was still, Esau came in from the field, and he was exhausted.
He was exhausted.
And verse 30 says, and Esau said to Jacob, let me eat some of the red stew, for I am exhausted.
Come on.
Therefore his name was called Edom.
His name is called Edom, which means red.
Verse 31. Jacob said, sell me your birthright now. Esau said, I am about to die.
Come on.
Of what use is a birthright to me? Jacob said, swear to me now. So he swore to him and sold his birthright to Jacob.
Come on.
And Jacob gave Esau bread and lentil stew, and he ate and drank and rose and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright.
So you see, but his brother was wrong. I mean, he made his brother give him the last because he knew I cannot control or be in control if I just have a little bit. I need all of his birthright. I need all of his heritage in order to be in control. But at the end, the brothers come back together and say, look, forgive me. And then they departed from each other. And that's why we use what it says, may God watch between me and thee while we are absent one from another. That's where that came from. Because at the end of that story, that's what they say. Come on, give God a praise. So, that's awesome. Y'all gotta read that. You gotta read that. That is an awesome story. Because you'll see the grace of God and the love of God for his people and for his children, that he exhausted for them to be saved, for them to be healed, and for them to have prosperity. But it was up to them whether they wanted and keep it. So remember, you guys, if any kind of way that you can look up things in the Hebrew and Arabic, do so. Because then you get the full truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
You can download that on an app
That's true.
dictionary to do English.
That's, you know what? You heard what he said? You guys can download the Hebrew app. Oh, do we got an Arabic app, right? Yeah, Arabic app. And download it. That's right. So if you got enough space on your phone and tablet, you can download it too. So that you can always have it. But that's the thing is that a lot of people, when they start reading in our language, they do get messed up. And they get confused. And they get misunderstanding. Say it again. Is it? Come on. That's a big difference. And a lot of people don't want to take that time and, study it correctly so that me and you can have but we'll go ahead and say, oh, God hated it, and God, it wasn't like that. God said, I just separated myself.
Revelation.
Come on, that's true. Yeah, that's true. We're in Revelation 17 chapter still. Oh, you got a microphone? Yeah, get in the microphone. Woo! Good to see you.
God bless. It's scripture that it talks about my people perish for the lack of knowledge.
Come on. Oh, yeah.
And that has a lot to do with us as a people. If we don't know who we are, then we don't know what to do.
Come on.
And because of that, that gives our enemy more power.
That's it.
And it ain't so much what the enemy is doing opposed to what we're not doing.
That's it.
You know, it's such a tragedy for people to come to the house of God and leave the same way they came.
Come on.
Because they're not opening up themselves to being challenged to learn to be different. And that's what the power is. The power is coming in one way and leaving out another.
That's it.
Because the same problem's gonna be there.
That's it.
And they get bigger if you don't get no power, they get bigger.
That's it.
I mean, it's simple as I got bills. If I don't get no job, then the bills gonna get bigger.
That's it.
But if I get a job, then that's normal. You know, so it should be normal for us to understand we are going to have issues. We're going to have problems because God said that.
That's it.
I said, look, if they didn't like me, what you think they're going to do to you when you say you know me?
That's the word, ain't it? We just talked about that last week. Woo! That is the truth. All day long.
Amen.
But that's why we love God so much. Let us stand. That's powerful. Thank God for you. Go ahead.
I just want to announce that if anybody, whoever would like to draw names, if you missed Sunday, we still have these forms to fill out of your favorite things and to hand back in by this Sunday. If you want to